Do you hear that? When I hear that sound, I have a Pavlovian reaction. I go a little nuts, and I start salivating, and I stop whatever I'm doing, and I run outside, and I look up in the sky. And if I'm really lucky, I'll see sandhill cranes, hopefully thousands of sandhill cranes. These amazing birds are about 4.5 feet tall, and when they migrate in V formations like geese do, but they're much higher in the sky, and they're squawking and they're making all kinds of ruckus as they go. To me, it's the most beautiful sight and sound. A barred owl has one of the most distinguishable calls of all the birds. It's instantly recognizable to me. These ferocious predators are almost completely silent when they fly, but they're one of the most vocal of all the owl species. By calling back to a barred owl, he may just fly over and check you out. So can you tell I get excited by these birds? I get just as excited by lots of things. I get excited if I'm out hiking in the woods, and it's in the springtime and the forest floor is carpeted with spring wildflowers. It's even better if you're hiking with your family or your friends or your grandchildren. I get excited if I see a muskrat swimming across the river, or if I see a skunk that hasn't been run over in the middle of the road. I get excited by lots of things. I get excited by bugs and fungus and snakes. But I would bet that my reaction is a little bit different than your reaction. I would bet that most of you had no idea what a sandhill crane sounded like, or that a barred owl says, "Who cooks for you? Who cooks for you all?" The reason that I think it's important that we can identify the sights and the sounds of the natural world is because when you can identify with something, you care about it. And when you care about it, you want to see it protected, and you'll fight for it. According to Solutions Journal, young people today can recognize almost 1,000 different corporate logos, but few can identify more than a handful of native plant or animal species. As a parent, when my kids were growing up, we went hiking and boating and camping as much as we possibly could. And my kids actually got tired of me pointing out trees and asking them to identify them by the bark or the leaves or the nuts. But they learned their species. On one family vacation, we spent 2 weeks in the Pacific Northwest. And I was blown away by the number of bald eagles that we were seeing. And every time I would see another bald eagle, I'd get excited like I do, and I'd point and I'd exclaim, "Look, bald eagle!" And on one day, we're driving, and we round a big bend in the road, and sure enough, in the tree in front of us is this big, beautiful, majestic bald eagle. And of course, I get excited and point and exclaim, "Bald eagle!" And my 13-year-old daughter, who's sitting in the back seat of the car, reading a book, looks up, and in a deadpan voice says to me, "Mom, it's just another bald eagle." Just another bald eagle? Are you kidding me, from the mouth of my child? Really? Was it possible that we had been so immersed in nature that nature had become passé? What an amazing thought. Nature as the norm. Well, our norms are changing, our world is changing. When I was a kid growing up, my mother used to tell me to go outside and play and don't come home until supper. But for the most part today, parents don't tell their kids to go out and play unsupervised. And most kids really just want to come home and get on their computers or on their cell phones and play games or text with their friends. A few months ago, I was talking with the director of the Boy Scouts in Central Indiana, and he shared with me that when young people today from the inner city, when they take them camping for the first time, many of them are actually afraid of the forest. And they're particularly terrified of the sounds at night, of the crickets and the cicadas and the frogs. So I've been pondering for a long time, what would it take to get kids really excited about the natural world? And I'm not talking a handful of kids at a time or a classroom at a time. I'm talking thousands of kids or millions of kids. What could we do to get kids excited about nature? So, working with a number of partners and my own organization, the Nature Conservancy, we're trying an experiment next year that has the potential to impact every school-aged child in the state of Indiana, and that's 1.1 million children, to connect them to nature. Next year, Indiana is celebrating our bicentennial, our 200th birthday. And as one of the signature projects of the bicentennial, we're creating a new park, the Children of Indiana Nature Park. And in that park, every child in Indiana, working through their schools or public libraries or nature centers or other venues, will be able to get online and claim a ceremonial deed of trust for a unique parcel of land, about the size maybe of this carpet that I'm standing on, in the Children's Nature Park. And they'll have the opportunity to go out and find their parcel with their classes or their Boy Scout troops or their parents. But for instant gratification, we're also creating a mobile-friendly web application that allows kids to zoom in like Google Earth and find their parcel of land virtually and look at it anytime that they want. So the idea is simple: to use technology as the catalyst to get kids outside to find the gift that has just been given to them, the gift of nature. Now, I know that not every kid is going to want to get online and print off their deed or go out and find their parcel of land. But maybe, just maybe, thousands will, or hundreds of thousands will. And of those that don't, well, maybe when they're older, or they have a family of their own, they'll think back, gosh, I wonder whatever happened to that parcel of land that I got. And they'll take their family out, and they'll find their parcel. And the cycle of caring for the land begins. But I'm not stopping in Indiana, because if this technology can work here in Indiana, it can work any place, regardless of the geopolitical size that you're working with. So how about other children's parks around the country? How about the Children of Texas Nature Park, or the Children of Ohio Nature Park, or at a city level, the City of Chicago Nature Park, or the City of Columbus Nature Park? It really doesn't matter the size, but maybe we could think bigger instead of smaller. So I'd like to see a new national park established. How about the Children of the Americas National Park, where every child in the country or around the world could get online and claim a ceremonial deed for a parcel of land in a cool new national park? Wouldn't that be amazing? Would that get kids reconnected back? And why stop here? The Nature Conservancy works globally, so we could help to create children's parks around the world. I'm actually already having discussions with my colleagues in Mongolia who want to establish the Children of Mongolia Nature Park, where every child in the country of Mongolia or around the world could claim a deed in their children's park. You see, my vision is for children to empower them to put down their devices and put on their boots and get outside and enjoy nature, learn to identify their species, learn to care about their species, learn to want to protect their species. Because I envision a world where the next big global environmental movement is led by children. And wouldn't it be amazing if the sense of ownership of land has in a ceremonial deed and a children's park, if that was the catalyst for the next big global environmental movement? Well, I believe that can happen. I'm going to work to make that happen. I invite you to join me to help make that happen, because I envision a world when on any given day you might just hear a child exclaim, "Oh, for heaven's sakes, Mom, it's just another bald eagle." Thank you.